Hi, this is Ronit Roy. Sorry.
This is Rohit Roy.
Oh, sorry, one sec, sorry. Hi, this is Rohit Roy, and this is Ronit Roy, and you're watching BollywoodHungama.com. Keep watching.
There you go.
Well, we have this remarkably talented brother duo, that is Ronit Roy and Rohit Roy with us. They are playing brothers once again in Kaabil as well, and they're just making it look mean and vile actually. Huge pleasure to have you guys on Bollywood Hungama first of all. And
Thank you.
how's the experience of playing like really mean brothers and that too in a big film like?
It was fun actually to play mean. You know, Ronit will say that I am mean in real life also to him, but it was good to play devilish, sexy, evil character that I'm playing, and he of course is a master at playing that.
Correct.
But it was fun to play it in a film with Sanjay Gupta at the helm and with Hrithik Roshan, you know, who I feel is pure gold as an actor, as a human being,
Right.
and Yami. And I'd like to go on record and say sorry, Yami, for all the things I've done to you in the film, but it was good fun.
Okay, and interestingly, you've been providing security to Hrithik Roshan for the last 16 years, and right from Kaho Na Pyar Hai, and now you're part of this entire venture in a big way. How's been the entire journey as far as you and Hrithik Roshan is concerned? You've been part of him since the beginning.
Yeah, it's been a long association with Hrithik.
Right.
And of course, from securing him when he hit superstardom after Kaabil and Hrithik Roshan.
Right from the first film itself, yeah.
Yeah, from the word go, he was a superstar. He's a bigger superstar today. I don't know what's bigger than superstar, superstar, super duper star.
Right. Superhero star.
Superhero star.
Superhero superstar.
Right.
So it's been a super journey, and when you associate yourself with somebody at that juncture, and then you watch the person grow, it has a great happiness quotient attached to it.
Right.
And then when you get to work with that person, then I kind of find myself over the moon. So working with Hrithik Roshan, who I go back a long way with, working with Rakesh ji, Filmcraft, who I know for decades now.
Right.
Working with Sanjay Gupta, who's been a friend for decades.
Right.
And working with my brother Rohit, who's been my
Brother for decades.
Many decades. So the feel-good factor in this film has been, very big for me.
Sure.
It's a big film, and I feel extremely fortunate to be a part of it.
Great. And now, the interesting part about you is obviously you're part of this film and it's like a big release which is coming up. But the interesting part that I find right now is that you're working on your directorial venture right now, and apparently it's being produced by Sanjay Leela Bhansali.
Yes, it is.
Right. And Abhay Deol is part of the star cast?
Well, I can't say anything right now because obviously the casting is still under wraps, and that is for Sanjay sir to announce. But yes, I'm working on that film. The only thing I can tell you is that Ronit is part of the film. Everything else, Mr. Bhansali will announce himself. Sorry about that, yeah.
Right, and you directed one of the stories in Das Kahani as well.
That I did, yes.
I still remember, I think Shabana Azmi was hugely appreciative of
Yes.
that. So, which is it that you enjoy more, being an actor or being a director?
Oh, no. Most certainly being a director. That's what my true calling is really. I'm at best an average actor. But there's something that, I think there are a lot of stories within me. So for me, the role of a filmmaker is what excites me the most. As an actor, you join the journey midway. Not midway, but after the initial process has happened. The script is ready, they reach out to you, you read the script, you say yes to the film or no to the film. And you leave the journey the day your last shot is scanned. But as a filmmaker, you're gestating the baby is coming from your mind, you're creating the whole baby. Till the very end, till the audience doesn't see it, you're delivering the baby yourself. So I think in terms of creative satisfaction, there's nothing better than being a filmmaker.
Right.
And I enjoyed what I did with Shabana ji and Nasir bhai. I mean, which director in today's times gets to debut in his directorial venture with Shabana and Nasir. So I think that also, I caught the directing bug from that.
And surprisingly,
a lot of people have told me, that you're a good actor, but your brother is a very good actor. So which gives me immense happiness.
Right.
But I was shooting with Shabana ji recently for something, and she told me, she said, where is Rohit nowadays? I said, he's preparing for something. And this is not to take away from the fine actor that Rohit is.
Right.
But Shabana ji said, usko bolo ki, not to waste time here and there, he should just direct. He's just fabulous at it. And
No, I
that
think
gave me a lot of
it
joy.
was a good story actually, and it was surprisingly some people wouldn't expect from you.
Yeah.
So you have this entire persona of like this like glares, and which you're wearing right now as well, and this cool guy.
I'll tell you a very interesting
In fact,
story.
in fact, I'll come to that. But on television, you're saying that about the acting part. But there was a point of time when you were on television, this entire bold and beautiful phenomenon was taking place on the Western.
Yeah.
And you were actually the sex symbol for the television as well, because and it was a very interesting phase as far as. So it's not as if that acting के साथ साथ में you're also being sexy.
No, you're being kind to me. Yes, sir, there was a phase.
I've seen your serials. I've seen your serials on a very regular basis. That was the time. Yeah.
Right. No, but thank you very much. Thank you for that.
I'm not saying that I was thinking like that, but I'm saying that impact. Yeah. Let's be clear. These days you never know actually. But it definitely had that impact on a lot of women.
Yes, I think with Swabhiman, the whole glamorous bit came out, and it was a very well developed show, and Bhatt Saab was involved, so everything was of great quality.
Right.
But the story I want to tell you is exactly what you said is what Shabana ji told me after my first meeting.
Right.
I narrated the script to her, and I still remember I went to her house. She said, "No, right now it's not politically correct for me to do this kind of film." It was obviously about Hindu, Muslim, etc. And she was playing the Tam Bram in the film, the Brahmin. And she met Bhavna somewhere. And Bhavna said, he said, "वो रोहित आया था मिलने, pretty boy, picture direct करने आया था." So Bhavna ji said, and I remember these words clearly, he's not only a pretty boy, he's an intelligent fellow, meet him again.
Right.
And that's why Shabana ji called me back. And she always keeps telling, whenever she meets Mansi, so where is that pretty boy? Is he going to do anything worth mentioning or no? She thinks I should give up on everything and just make movies. So coming from a Shabana Azmi, I think that's what I should do. I know?
No, I think you should do both.
Both.
Yeah, I think in a way I think both. But I think director is something that can be, considering Sanjay Leela Bhansali is backing you, because he's someone who's not. He doesn't take to people easily. So
yeah, that's a great.
After that story, I think it's something that as a director is something that people will be, because actors to बहुत से हैं, but as a director, if you can stand out, is something that should be really interesting. Now, sir, you played some really mean negative characters in your career. I think Boss was something that was on another level. I think I really like that film. Maybe I think it could have done better, and maybe I think the release is something that maybe could have been better. But you really touched those in terms of how mean a person can be. Even in terms of Kodan, for example, you had that entire negative feel to it, and it's something which is very realistic as well. You played several negative characters. Now, how important is it for you to just in a way become that character, and that people should start hating you from what we see in promos of Kaabil as well, that when you have that entire look as far as you're concerned?
It is not just about a negative character.
Ji.
I think for any actor worth his salt or her salt, it is extremely important to become the character. Whether the character is negative or positive, it's to bring the audience to believe that you're not Hrithik Roshan and you are actually a blind man who's in love with and out for vengeance. So that's an actor's journey, is to make the audience believe in the character and in the narrative per se. So for me it's the same. Every time there is a process to making people believe that I am the character. The actor is the character. And that is the process. And sorry, what was the question?
The entire that how you become that character, because playing a negative character, and that too in a realistic manner, because एक तो हमारे वहाँ होता है that the traditional villain होता है, which is like the way Amrish Puri Sahab and Pran and
Prem Chopra
Sahab, they've Shakti Kapoor Sahab, just made it so famous. And then you're having like a very realistic character. What was there in Boss, it's like very realistic. It has human shades to it as well. Udaan is something which is very, very realistic, but at the same time, it has some really negative shades to it as well.
See, I think somewhere down the line, we are in 2017, and the way people narrate their stories on celluloid, their narratives have changed. What the audience is asking for, from the narrative, that their point of view has changed. Everybody started looking at cinema in a realistic way. My process is very simple. I kind of get into the skin of the character, and then it's pretty much guided by the director. So every piece of performance that I have done, if it has been accepted by the audience, if the audience has liked it, the credit pretty much goes to first the writer who has written the character.
Correct.
And secondly, the director. In my case, in most cases, it's been the same. So yeah, it's the writer and the director. They give you the fodder, pretty much. They give you everything, and you just have to kind of put it together.
Definitely. So we'll come to that shortly, because how you become the entire. Because I've seen your film Jaan Tere Naam. I've actually seen it in a theater. Okay, I'm from Aligarh, so in small town, especially, that the music was outstanding. I spoke to Nadeem, part of Nadeem Shravan on a Skype interview, I think this last year, 2016. And we spoke about Jaan Tere Naam, that how it became like a really big film in terms of, the music was really big in terms of that Jaan Tere Naam karta hai. And you and I was
in school that time. I'd come to see the shooting of this thing. They were shooting in a Mud Island ka bungalow.
Right.
And I remember it was a really long take, and it was very complicated, and he got it right in the first shot.
Right.
Raju Khan used to design these really complicated steps. So jump karke aana, ye, wo, and then joining the band and doing the step in his costume. Remember that I'd come to watch this thing.
No, I remember you coming, but I don't
remember the step. Yeah.
No, in fact, now I was reading about one of your interviews. You've said that after Jaan Tere Naam became like a silver jubilee, for 4-5 years you didn't have any work, and because you were new to the industry and you didn't really understand that, and there'll be women around you and stuff like that. But somehow it didn't happen for 4-5 years. You didn't have much work, and it's been like a really big struggle as far as your acting career is concerned.
No, not 4-5 years. When Jaan Tere Naam became a hit,
right?
For the first 3 months, my phone didn't ring. So I used to pick up the phone and check whether it was working or not.
Correct.
So now I know that when your film releases, if it does well, then people start writing you into their stories. It's a process. That is also a process. It takes time. So I was an actor at that point, and having given a debut film, also at that time for a film to do well in Mumbai, in the Bombay circuit, which is called the Bombay circuit, that was very important. If the film didn't do well in Bombay, it was considered a flop. My film was a silver jubilee in 16 centers, but it didn't do well in Bombay.
Oh.
So that was in my mind, and somebody we knew had visited the set once and told me कि तुम्हारे जैसे बहुत एक्टर आए हैं, वो लोग they've become one film wonders. After one film, nobody's seen them. So that made me very nervous. And for 3 months, my phone didn't ring. So after 3 months, the first offer that came, I took it up. And like you very rightfully said, I was new in the industry. I didn't have anybody who could show me the way or advise me, and I don't think anybody wanted to advise me at that point of time. Maybe I was not ready to take advice from people. Maybe I didn't go to people and ask for advice. So who knows what it was. But I will not say that signing all those films were a mistake. Suffice to say that, maybe it was in my destiny, or maybe the time was bad, or maybe things didn't fall in place that none of those films worked. I worked with some very big filmmakers of that time, like Mr. K.C. Bukadia, and but nothing worked for me. So I guess that's where the destiny and luck factor.
Definitely, television. I think when you started Kasautis in the Gigi, I think it was in a way like a do or die situation for you, and it really worked wonders as far as you started with a 250 rupees per day package.
2,500.
2,500. Okay, maybe the interview was it was.
Yeah, I think I was the lowest paid actor when I started television. But I mean, in a way, they say there is there is something good in everything bad that happens. So my down cycle, maybe it kind of taught me a lot of things about life, and then the business that I chose, security, it brought me in proximity with Hrithik.
Like you've Amir, Shah Rukh, you've done it for like almost,
So when maybe that was my time off where I watched all these special people. So I think somewhere, there is a blessing hidden in everything bad that happens, and maybe that period that I didn't work, I was doing the security business, which got me in proximity with all these special people like Hrithik and Amir and Shah Rukh. So there was a lot to learn from just being with them and observing them and how they work.
Right.
Which I think somewhere takes, it creates a home in your subconscious, and then, you kind of make it your own and duplicate it in your life.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I guess.
Now, I've actually seen you in action as far as your security business is concerned in Colombo in the IFA. I've actually seen you just do the entire thing when I think Salman was coming in at one point of time, and you were there for Amir's wedding as well in Panchgani as well. Now, many would say that some people who've seen the entire Jaan Tere Naam phenomenon as far as you are concerned, that the way you just turn into a really good actor, and obviously I don't think you've taken like training or anything of that sort, and something that happened like organically or whatever, maybe the people that you met, I think Anurag Kashyap for example, or Vikram Motwani, because they I think somehow got a new side to you which people were totally surprised, and it was written about a lot as well somehow. Do you feel, what do you attribute this entire thing, this entire metamorphosis of you from like what is said as a mainstream actor to like a really an actor who's critically acclaimed in a big way?
That's an interesting question, but I honestly don't have an answer to it.
Right.
Because I didn't know that I was going to be casted in Kaabil. I didn't know I was going to be casted in an Udaan. So I didn't know what was going to happen. I still don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Ji.
So because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, I try and not think about tomorrow. So like you said, it was as a security expert, maybe it was my proximity to all those special people from whom I learned. Maybe it was working with directors, who tell you that, listen, it's not like this, so it is like this. There are other ways of doing the same thing. Maybe it's that, maybe it's life in general that create those emotions are there in you, but because of situations in life, those emotions spring alive. And since all that has been done, I don't think about the past too much, so I've not thought about, kind of dissected it and evaluated what made it happen. Since it has happened in an organic way, I kind of like to leave it like that and keep doing what I'm doing. I think I consider myself, I've often said this, I'm a thief in many ways. So if I see something, this is the only thing I know about myself, so I'm telling you. I'm a thief because if I see something good in you, I've got into the habit of stealing that. And then I keep practicing that and till it becomes part of me. So I keep stealing a little bit of goodness from everybody and kind of putting it
observation and
in me. So I guess that's been my process of growth as a human being. And it is said that to be a good actor, you need to be a good human being. So somewhere I don't know what actually has happened, but I guess it's a permutation or combination of all these things that has probably worked.
To your advantage, fantastic. All right, so Rohit, you've worked with Sanjay Gupta in the past, and now you're just working in a film which is being called as. In fact, Rakesh ji, he just messaged me in the morning that I think around 70 trade exhibitors, they've seen the film and they gave it like a standing ovation. So how does it feel that this entire journey that you've had with Sanjay Gupta primarily, and now you're part of this big ticket film which is going to be all over and people will hate you after they see this?
Well,
the character, that is.
In the past 2 decades of being an actor, I've never been nervous or even anxious for a release. This is the very first time that I'm feeling nervous, anxious, excited, all at the same time. I'm feeling also at the same time numb because I've heard so much about the film. of how people have appreciated right from the day the first trailer came out till yesterday when these 70-odd distributors and trade pundits, so to speak, saw the film. And in 50 minutes of the film, they gave it a standing ovation. So yeah, I'm damn nervous. Also excited because, like you said, rightfully it's the biggest ticket film that I've done in my career. So actually to last 20 odd years with one hit, that hit wasn't mine really, Shoot Out and Lokanwala, to have lasted 20 years and then to kind of re-find yourself, or that's why I must thank Sanjay Gupta for it, that he somehow or the other at the opportune time comes into my career and kind of lifts me in whichever kind of gloom I am in or whatever state I am in, and he puts me into a big ticket film like this. Even if you realize, Shoot Out and Lokanwala happened to me at the time when I was doing television, very happily so. Even currently, Kaabil, when I was doing Kaabil, I was doing a television show on Sony, on Sub TV, and suddenly he says, "Nahi, nahi, ye film hai." So it's great. My association with him has always borne fruit, and this one is gold because there's a Rakesh Roshan backing it. There's a Hrithik Roshan, who's helming the cast. There's a Ronit Roy, who's like you said, proven track record as a bad boy. And there's Yami Gautam, who according to me is one of the most talented and pretty actresses we have. I loved her right from the start, the first film, and in fact on television as well. तो ये सारी चीजें एक वो कहते हैं ना कि अपने आप the universe is conspiring to get me back on track. Shavana ji, sorry, you'll have to wait for a little more time before I make my next film because I'm enjoying acting right now.
All right. Now, when I was just reading a few of your interviews today, and somehow you said that for an actor to be a good actor, it's important to be like a good human being as well. The entire personal experiences that you've had over the years, and I believe you've learned a lot from your daughter as well. That's what I think you mentioned in one of the interviews, and the way she responded to certain things in your life, the decisions that you wanted to take. How important has this journey for you, this entire personal journey that has really...
This is the most important journey.
Ji.
Because, eventually, because success is not what you get.
Ji.
Success is what you do with what you get.
Correct.
You can be the most successful person in the world, and if nobody likes you, there's no point of having that success.
Right.
Now, I feel that there are two separate things. There's life and then there's your job.
Ji.
And if you've got your life in order, then the job kind of falls into its place. Like Bill Gates said that if you do 10,000 hours of a particular job, you master it. So I guess we are all walking on that path to accumulate that kind of mastery in our craft or in our art. But more importantly for me, it's about the evolution of the human being, of myself. I very vividly remember what I was, and let me tell you, it was a far cry from what I am today. It is all because of my theory and the slow accumulation of the good habits, and I will not say that I am the perfect human being today.
Jay.
I have my flaws. There are habits like my smoking that I have, even after trying, I have not been able to give up. But those are today far and few between. I am more in control of my mind and myself and my being than I was before. Rohit is there, he knows. It's been an extremely tough journey. It's been a journey, full of hurdles, full of thorns, and my feet have bled. But I'm thankful for that. Because every thorn prick has, left a lesson for me. And also there is, a decade back, I kind of embarked on this self-searching spiritual kind of journey. Not trying to be a Baba or something, but, trying to grasp the general meaning of what we are all doing here.
Absolutely.
And what we should be doing.
Absolutely.
So, taken a few steps on that path. So, I think cumulatively it's a nice picture.
Definitely. Segment called How Well Do You Know Each Other? Okay, so how well do you know your brother, and how well do your brother knows you? So
I know him very well. I don't know about him knowing me.
That today. So we'll start with Rohit Roy.
Okay.
Okay, so how well does Rohit Roy know Ronit Roy? Which was Ronit's?
Under pressure.
Okay, this is easy actually. Which was Ronit's debut film, 15th August, Sainik, Bomb Blast, Jaan Tere Naam. Jaan Tere Naam. Okay. All right. Ronit's name in Adalat is KD Pathak. What's the full form of KD?
They have still never disclosed what KD stands for.
We'll come to the next. This is like really. Ronit's okay. Rishabh Bajaj was Ronit's character. Name in which television show? क्योंकि सास भी कभी
कसौटी जिंदगी के.
कसौटी
I don't need
जिंदगी.
options.
Got like 3 out of 3. Okay. This is easy.
Now it's
as well,
making it
so
more
I will-
difficult. He's cursing through the questions.
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. Recently, Ronit won Star Screen Awards for Best Actor in a Negative Role for which film?
Star Screen Awards for Guddu Rangila.
Not bad. 4 out of 4.
There, yeah.
No, I wasn't
Okay.
there for Guddu Rangila. Was I there? Okay.
Okay. All right. This one is easy as well. What is Ronit Roy's Twitter handle?
Ronit Bose Roy at Twitter, whatever.
Yeah. So he's got like 5 out of 5 actually.
I told you I know my brother
He's
very
like
well.
hook or by crook. He knows everything about you. That is fantastic actually. So
That's
we'll try and
what
find
I
out
think.
what your brother knows
Yeah,
about you.
yeah.
Okay. He's a simple one. Okay. What is so? How well does Ronit Roy know Rohit Roy? What is Rohit Roy's Twitter handle?
Rohit Roy 500.
All right, that is 1 out of 1. Okay, this will be easy as well, but let's ask, since we've asked him like really easy questions, so
You
we'll
ask
ask
me
you as well.
I
They
didn't
were
even ask you for options,
They
yeah.
were more or less easy actually. What was the debut film of Rohit Roy? जज्बात, कोई किसी से कम नहीं, लालची, हम तो मोहब्बत करेगा.
Jazbat by Anand Gulani.
All right, so 3 out of 3. That will be easy as well, so I won't ask you that. So I'll ask something else. Okay. Rohit Roy's nickname in Shooter at Lokanwala was Fattu. What was his real name?
ये नहीं आएगा.
I'll give you options.
नहीं.
No, I'll give you options as well. Yeah. Fatur.
Hey, but is there a hamper at the end of this round?
Fatim. We'll figure it out.
Achha,
We'll figure it out. Fatur. Fatim. Fatishk. Fatimash. Fatur. Fatim. Fatishk. Fatimash.
Neither. His name was just for 2.
Fatim.
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 Yeah. So
phone
it's
call में
like
बोलते हैं ना डैडी मेरे फातिम बेटा घर
3 out of 4. Okay.
No, you can't. His name was Fattu in the film. Yeah.
But it was a nickname ना.
Complete the name of this Rohit Roy film. We can't give you options to this. एक खिलाड़ी ...
You've done a lot of films.
Like Sanjay Bansali says, you've done a lot of off films.
एक खिलाड़ी
Ek Hasina.
एक हसीना.
not bad.
It's like 4 out of 5. So, but I think
I think you have to ask me
Roy.
this question. Yeah.
I'll have to ask-
Because you have to erase his KD Pathak and you have to erase this question.
Now you are trying to bully me the way.
No, see who's bullying you.
Requesting you.
But that's like a valid. It's like you are brothers anyway. So उसमें ये है कि that छोटे भाई को भी आप जीतने दीजिए. आप मतलब ऐसी बात
क्या?
नहीं है. Yeah, that's
See, I didn't wait for options.
We'll have one more segment, and I think you'll enjoy that as well. We have like
Buck
a
up,
rapid
buck up,
fire.
buck up.
We'll have like a rapid fire with you guys. Now, so we'll start with Ronit Roy.
Please,
Okay.
please.
So rapid fire with Ronit Roy. A thing in Rohit you've always envied of, apart from bullying.
A thing in Rohit, I have his confidence.
Confidence. If a film has a role suiting both of you, but any one of you can do that, who from
Rohit,
you both will pick it up?
unquestionably. Rohit. I would. That's your question, no?
Yeah.
Rohit.
That's really Astha, yeah. That's really Astha TV. Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
Okay, that's wonderful.
You ask me the same question, my answer will be the same. Rohit.
Rohit. Correct.
Okay, an actor.
Yeah, that would be the thing. I would say, यार ये क्या ना मुझे नहीं लगता ये सूट करेगा मुझे तू कर ले. His would be exactly the same line कि मुझे नहीं लगता ये तुमको सूट करेगा.
All right, so an actor from Bollywood you've always admired the most.
Same, Mr. Bachchan.
Same.
Mr. Bachchan. Okay. An actress with whom you've always wished to romance with on screen.
An actress with whom I
want to
have
romance on
always
screen.
wished to romance on screen. Oh God. Not from my time. Any time is.
Yeah, ji, bilkul.
Smita Patil.
Smita Patil, that's very interesting. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Hrithik Roshan?
Goodness.
Daily soaps.
Deteriorating.
Masala films.
Exciting.
Rohit Roy.
Charming.
Charming. Okay, do you think Kaabil is Hrithik Roshan's finest performance till date?
One of his finest.
A thing you never expected to happen in your Bollywood career?
Udan.
Ah, okay. That's a good one.
Superb.
So I think Ronit Roy has done pretty well, Rohit Roy. So you'll need to just battle it out, considering that you're so competitive.
Let's do this.
Okay, so now rapid fire with Rohit Roy. Which is your most favorite childhood memory with Ronit?
There are several, but the memory that remains etched in my mind is when I threw a 7-lever lock.
I so knew you were going to say that. I was just going to say Tala.
He was irritating me, and I threw a 7-lever lock at him, and thank God I missed his head by a whisker.
Oh my God.
Just a whisker. He was running down the stairs, and I threw it from vantage point, and just missed him by a
Yeah,
whisker.
it missed that, but it got my nail. So my nail came out.
Not that
Yeah,
bad.
perfection से मारा था.
And matlab,
No, I was going for his head.
you guys could be as good as like Judwas. Yeah, matlab, you precisely knew what he's going to say.
You know, there are certain things which later in retrospect you're like, did I actually do that? What if I did hit him? You know? So yeah, that's the.
आज भी even today मैं रोहित रॉय के खौफ में जी रहा हूँ.
We can see that actually. See that. मैं भी खौफ में जी रहा हूँ. If you have to swap one quality with the Ronit, which one will it be?
Tenacity.
Tenacity. Okay. One reason why you will choose Bollywood over television?
One reason, there are several reasons, but Bollywood is something which is for ad infinitum. You never, if you do a good job on the silver screen, people will remember you after years and years of your passing. But on television, unfortunately, it's what we call gutter entertainment. It's like a daily newspaper. You forget the next day what you've done yesterday. So that's the one thing.
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Yami Gautam?
Beautiful.
Award shows?
In India or abroad?
Anywhere. Let's stick to India.
Let's stick to India. Jerk off.
Jerk off.
Okay. मैंने फिल्म फेयर जीता था यार बिना लॉबिंग.
Other than my brother wins.
May I say something?
जी बिल्कुल.
What happened to my rapid fire round? How is it rapid fire?
No, actually, he wants to say something. Your brother wants to say
I
something.
just want to say on both of our behalf
जी.
that I have never gone to an award function thinking also that I'll win film award function, not
Right.
television award. Because you've heard so many things like it's rigged and people do lobbying and this and that, but I have to say this on camera today that every award I have won, I have not even made a single phone call to anybody. So there is some kind of truth behind these awards. I mean that's speaking out of my personal experience.
Okay.
But my answer was
But
jerk off.
we
It
are-
has nothing to do with lobbying or making
Yeah.
calls. I didn't mean that. I said it's a personal job off.
Yeah, it's like he's making it rapid actually.
Yeah, मैं कुछ बोल.
Okay, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Ronit Roy?
Phoenix.
Sensors.
When I say censor, phallic.
Phallic. Okay. Interesting. Dictionary.
Arey, sir,
Okay.
ये रोहित
You do
Roy.
def- okay. An actor from Bollywood you've always admired,
Mr. Bachchan.
apart from Mr. Bachchan.
Nasiruddin Shah.
Okay. A thing about Hrithik Roshan you learned after working with him.
I've said pretty much everything about Hrithik, but giving. I've learned that, like you guys discussed something that, goodness and all of that. Uski shakal pe likha hua hai that he's a really nice soul.
Yeah.
And the more I know him, I've known him since the time he was 17, 18, I think. And the more I get to know him, the more I see that goodness coming out of his eyes. So the one word which comes to mind when I think of Hrithik is gold.
Gold. Okay. You'd like to write at some point of time? Are you like a writer?
I mean, I write a lot, I blog a lot, I've co-written my first film, I'm co-writing my next film. I love to write. I love to write. That's, I think, my creative release is through writing, not so much acting.
Acha. In English, like a proper book or something is something?
No, I'm going to write his autobiography, when and as. I'm going to write his biography. It's going to be automatic, so I called it.
So you'll write, huh? That should be very interesting actually.
It'll just flow.
It'll just flow.
And I'm going to give you the title I thought for myself.
What?
बचपन से लेकर आज तक.
अरे
One major difference between television and Bollywood.
One major difference is that in television you don't have time to build anything. Forget about a character. In Bollywood, you have time to prepare and create something which will be everlasting.
Okay, an American show you think can do very well if remade in Indian television?
I'm not going to tell you because I'm remaking it already. When you see it, you'll come to know.
When we see
Yeah. अभी बोल दूंगा तो वो आइडिया निकल जाएगा ना सर.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
इतना वाइडली वॉच शो है आपका.
बिल्कुल अब हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
Widely watched for sure.
Listen, we were at an award function where both of us were being given an award for our achievement on television, excellence on television, called the first family of TV and all that. And when he gave his acceptance speech, it was in chaste Hindi.
Correct.
And when it came to me, I spoke in chaste English.
Yeah.
So my friend Manish Paul was saying, वाह 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 क्या जोड़ी है. एक का स्पीच कलर्स पे आएगा, एक का स्पीच कलर्स इन्फिनिटी पे आएगा. तो हमारा हमेशा साइमल्टेनियस टेलीकास्ट होता है.
You know, many years back, I was in Ooty shooting a film with Mithunda.
जी.
And Mithunda and Raj Babbar Sahab were, they're very close to each other, very old friends.
Right.
So we were like chintu pintos, I mean, when Mithunda and Raj Babbar Sahab are presiding over a dinner table, then you don't talk much, you just listen. So they were chiding each other, and Mithunda, he was telling Mithunda about how he still had the Bengali accent, and Mithunda said that it's okay, he has done well without it. And Raj Babbar Sahab said something very important that day. He said that the medium that you work in, you should at least have proper command over that meeting. That's the day I started learning Hindi. And then of course, watching Bachchan Sahab conduct himself.
Correct.
So a lot of inspiration and education has come from that front. So I think when you speak Hindi, आजकल तो लोग इंग्लिश में बोल देते हैं, so they talk like that only. तो वो साउंड करता है हिंदी, but it's पूरी तरह से इंग्लिश.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's why I don't listen to him. I don't listen to him because I don't understand how the words he uses. तो जब समझ में नहीं आता तो करूँगा कैसे, है ना? On that note,
समझने का प्रयास करोगे तो समझोगे.
Excuse, what is the meaning of prayas?
Sir, please.
Okay, finally, last question. That if you can tell us something about your forthcoming films and your fitness regimen, how do you remain so fit, both of you?
I am currently very unfit because I've just come back from 2 weeks in London and then I've fallen ill. Before going to London, I had finished all my work, so I was not doing anything. Then I've fallen ill. I'm currently under heavy medication, not being able to go to the gym or work out. But on a normal day, in normal course of events, I'm a runner. So I mainly run, and after I run, I do either Tai Chi or yoga, depending. I alternate, and sometimes, for a few weeks I'll hit the gym, then stop. That kind of thing. But mostly when I run, in between my running, I do freehand pull-ups and stuff like that. So that's basically my fitness thing. What was the other part of it?
Forthcoming projects apart from Kaabil.
Forthcoming projects, this month, after 2 days, I start a film called Lucknow Central with Farhan. It's a Viacom film.
Right.
Very debut director, very, very talented, very promising, called Ranjit. Looking forward to that. I'm doing a small kind of an extended cameo in a film called Munna Michael. I'm playing Tiger's foster dad.
Okay.
Very exciting, very interesting, light-hearted role. There are some very brilliant scripts which have come to me, and there are some very big films that have come to me. So right now I'm torn in between the big films and the brilliant scripts. But I think towards the end of this month we should have the rest of the year.
More clarity once Kaabil releases.
But extremely interesting work.
That's great. What about you? Your fitness regimen and
my fitness regimen is more or less what he does. The only difference is that I don't do too much of freehand. I work out for 2 hours a day. I do an hour of cardio running. I do your general basic workouts. But I want to thank on camera this time Salman for bringing me back into fitness. For that lecture he gave me at 5 o'clock in the morning. I had completely let go because my mind wasn't in it. I thought कि अभी director बनने तो fitness से क्या लेना देना. And he put me on the right track right before Kaabil, couple of months before Kaabil started shooting. So thank you, Salman. And I keep it very simple, यार. अच्छा खाओ, अच्छा सोचो, अच्छा workout करो. That's all you need, and sleep well. That's what I try. I try and get in about 7-8 hours of sleep. And don't ask me about my future projects because currently I'm reading scripts. I'm reading scripts. The moment they reach me, I will let you know. So I have nothing on my plate. I've got no offers to talk about, and so that's the way it is. When it comes to me, I'll call you, and you can do a capsule on it.
I can do a capsule on that. I'm waiting for that actually.
I used to love it when you used to ask an actor, so what are your forthcoming projects? I'm actually reading scripts. अरे तो पढ़ भी ले यार, पूरा कर ले, स्कूल में इतनी पढ़ाई कर लेती तो स्क्रिप्ट जल्दी खत्म कर लेता.
Alright, so Ronit Roy and Rohit Roy, pleasure having you on board.
Thank you so much. It was fun, yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah, I told you that by the end of it, you'll say that.
Thank you.
And I hope that you're saying it genuinely.
Absolutely, completely. You know, this is the first time I've realized that actors want to talk more than the interviewer. He wants to go, but we have to continuously talk. तो कितना मजा आया होगा.
I like your hat.
It's important to be a good listener. Actually, I think it's important.
Very important.
Because even for us, we learn a lot.
Yeah, very
from people's experiences, from like lives that they've led.
Yeah.
It's like a.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.